A light drizzle shrouds the airport as the mother and her toddler arrive at the FBO just before 9 a.m. By now, she knows the routine well. Looking out the FBO window, she sees the airplane touch down, causing water to splash up as it contacts the wet runway. The drizzle lets up when the mother and her child board the Sakata TBM. The pilot explains that the weather at their destination is clear. He shows her the location and operation of the normal and emergency exits and confirms that she knows how the seatbelts work. She has no further questions for him as she takes the right forward-facing seat in the rear cabin, placing the little child on her lap. She stopped using the child carrier 10 months ago when her daughter turned 2. Although the wind T currently favors runway 12, the pilot speculates the wind direction to be the same as when he landed, from the north-northeast. While taxiing to runway 30, he receives his IFR clearance, lines up with the runway centerline, and applies full power for takeoff. But the pilot makes one terrible mistake when he ignores the wind shifting to the southeast. The mother tightens her hold on her little daughter as the TBM accelerates, swerving left and right down the runway. She's wondering if there's a problem with the tires. Finally, with 900 feet to spare, the aircraft barely rotates off the 3,900-foot wet runway as it scrambles 30 feet into the air. Glancing out the cabin window, she notices the airplane abruptly tipping left as if it were banking. Then she sees the ground coming toward them, and time stops. The TBM wreckage was found in an office building parking lot near the departure end of runway 30 at Iowa City Municipal Airport. The mother and the pilot escaped with non-life-threatening injuries. Sadly, the little girl perished in the crash. There was a stationary front south-southwest of the airport and a low-pressure area in northeast Kansas generating easterly winds just to the north of the front. Doppler weather radar for Quad Cities, Iowa, showed an area of convective activity over the airport when the pilot landed, but it had moved 6 miles east at departure time. During the 30-minute period between landing and takeoff, the wind shifted from the northeast to the southeast, increasing in velocity from 4 knots to 23 knots, with peak gusts at 36 knots. The pronounced wind shift and increase in velocity was a direct result of the pressure gradient enhanced by the convection. This accident was survivable. However, the child, who was not properly restrained, received blunt force trauma to the head, causing her death. FAR 911073 specifies each person on board a U.S. registered civil aircraft must occupy an approved seat with a safety belt properly secured during takeoff. Only unrestrained children who are under the age of 2 may be held by a restrained adult. As pilots, we have the awesome responsibility to care for our passengers, to keep them safe. Everything we do, from pre-flight to tie-down, requires us to evaluate each decision and take another course of action if the flight's safe outcome is in jeopardy.